Sometimes it seems like Kirk is more comfortable putting chips in the pot with a bad hand than a good hand.
JRB will open the action with 8-6 of hearts, raising to 3,500. Ivey's got a pair of deuces. He calls, and Antonio on the button with 5-4 offsuit. And looks like he wants in on the action.
Yeah, even though he only has a 5-4 offsuit, which isn't a particularly good hand, he's in position, playing deep stack, no limit. First JRB and Mr. Ivey. It's a good enough situation to take a flop.
Yeah, good enough indeed. Ace-3 deuce.
Well, this is going to be interesting. Blonde with a flush draw, Ivey with bottom set, and Antonio with the stone cold nuts at the moment. But a lot can change on this board.
Ivey called after Blonde bet 8,000.
Notice at this point, if the board pairs or if a heart comes, Antonio is drawing dead.
Antonio's not going to slow play this. He raises to 28,000.
And even though JRB has a flush draw here, I actually like folding. Because if he's up against, let's say Phil has something like King 10 of hearts and Antonio has a made hand, in such a bad spot. And if you hit a flush with the only flush draw, sometimes it might be hard to win a big pot for these guys. So I don't really like calling that 20 to just sort of try to hit a heart. Phil, however, isn't going anywhere.
About 100 grand in the pot right now, heading for the turn. And a jack of spades, a brick for Blonde and Ivey.
Well, for Ivey, it's actually, he sort of wants to see bricks if the board doesn't pair because he probably figures in a multi-way pot he's up against at least one flush draw. For Antonio, that's a dream turn card.
Antonio decides the price is $68,000.
Well, it's Robert putting his chips precariously sort of in front of his cards, which you got to be careful with that. That almost signifies it just looks close that he put it right. Yeah. It almost looks like he put the chips in the pot.
Yeah.
You know, but they play kind of gentleman rules. I mean, clearly he didn't. I think you're going to see Ivey call here. It's tough. You can't just start folding sets on the turn, playing no limit hold'em versus a player as capable as Antonio, because he could have flush draws, he could have semi bluffs, and he could be as weak as having a hand like King 5 of clubs, where he's just sort of taking the initiative, has a gut shot, and is just making a bold play. You have to take one more card off, but the river could get interesting.
Phil calls here. And the king does not fill up Ivey. Antonio has the best hand.
That he does, and he's certainly going to bet. The question is how much. And for Phil, this is going to be an awfully tough decision because now Antonio might not even bet with aces and threes, which is a hand that Phil's hoping Antonio might have on the turn because Phil could have ace-jack or now ace-king, and it's hard to get value with ace-3 on this run-out.
Wow.
So Phil's hand is almost a bluff catcher.
Big bet from Antonio on $153,000.
Antonio could show up with ace-king sometimes, but I think Phil thinks that he probably 3-bet that pre-flop, and conversely, he would probably just call with that on the flop. And a visibly disgusted Phil Ivey.
That's fair.
Rarely see him lift up his hand like that.
Pretty special there, bud.
You've heard of Breaking Bad, the TV show? That's the face of a man running bad. Man, if looks could kill.
That's fair.